If it keeps on raining, levee's gonna break. If it keeps on raining, levee's going to break. And the water's gonna come and I have no place to stay.
Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Wednesday, May 28th, I believe it is. Time is 5 p.m. Jersey time. Let me tell you, the weather sucks here in New Jersey right now. We've had nothing but rain for the past 2 weeks. Cool temperatures, and right now it's rain, so you may hear the water drip, the raindrops on the ceiling here as I talk. Okay, let's get right to it. We have an update on the disgraced police chief of Englishtown, New Jersey. Some of you may remember the video I did. He was arrested for computer crime, accessing a database. He wasn't supposed to be doing it for what he was using it for. And also third-degree shoplifting. Apparently had himself a little side chick, and I guess his way of helping her out was to go in the store. I believe this is alleged. I don't have all the information, the definite information, but I think I'm pretty well on target here, and helped her appropriate a few things from a grocery store, and I believe this was on more than one occasion. And the story I got was when the shoplifting took place, they had it on video, and I believe there's more than one occasion they had it on video, and one of the officers from Manalapan Police Department showed up and said, "Hey, I know that guy. That's the police chief of Englishtown, better known as Chief Peter J. Cooke Jr." And not good. You know, I just don't get it. I was talking to Matt Tim about this the other day, and many of you know, I always say when Captain Dick Johnson is at the helm, he will steer the ship into troubled waters every time, and this is what's happened here. I said to Tim, just from a guy point of view, I says, he's not doing these things because he's a great, wonderful guy. He's doing it because she's got problems, and he's a police chief, and she probably thinks that he can help her out, and maybe he alluded to those kind of ideas, and he was doing all that to take care of Dick Johnson, allegedly. But I'm pretty sure that's what the story was. And then he got caught. And here we are. You know, things are... I just don't understand, you know, and this is directed to Pete. Pete, you had 25 years or something on the job, maybe less, maybe more. I don't know exact numbers, but... And you risked all that for that? To get laid? Or possibly get laid? I know you got problems at home, and I know this is, you know... This is what you do, but you've been better off going to a massage parlor and have business taken care of. So, okay, so now the update is, oh, but just one additional there. I had sent records requests into the prosecutor's office. I sent it to Englishtown. I sent it to Manalapan, particularly Manalapan. I wanted to get the arrest report, and of course they get back and tell you non-responsive, which is basically go pound sand, and if you want it, we'll see you in court, because they knew what I was up to. They know who I am. So I never got any of that to get the real story on everything. So, okay, so the other day, the birdies are singing again, by the way. So I got this thing in the email the other day, and this is apparently Pete Cooke, the chief, has made a deal. And the first deal right now that I see is, and this is from the Borough of Englishtown, resolution number 2025-095. And it says, resolution accepting the resignation of Chief Peter Cooke from employment with the Borough of Englishtown. First of all, he should have been fired. He did this crap through the course of this job, accessing the computer to look people up. He should have been fired. It's official misconduct. He never got charged with official misconduct. He got charged with using the computer base when he shouldn't have been using it. It's for law enforcement purposes, not for hooking up purposes. And it's funny how he got caught with that, because apparently the one or two people that he looked up, another town or maybe the prosecutor, I don't know which it was, but they went and they were looking up the same person, and there was a record as to who else was there. He was there, and they couldn't understand why he was there, and that also all came together. So, all right, let me read what it says here. Whereas the Borough of Englishtown has received notice of resignation from Chief Peter Cooke of the Englishtown Police Department, submitted via email dated May 19th, 2025 by his attorney, Deborah Simons, Esquire. And whereas said resignation was submitted following the entry of a public employment forfeiture order issued by Judge Watson. I do not have that order. Now, therefore, it be resolved by the mayor, that's Francisco, and the council. I don't know how many people on his council, because the four of them quit, and one was replaced with a former person connected, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying he's a bad guy now. I'm just saying what is out there. County Monmouth, State of New Jersey, as follows. The resignation of Chief Peter Cooke is hereby accepted, effective immediately. The borough clerk is authorized and directed to update all borough records accordingly. A certified copy of this resolution shall be provided to Chief Peter Cooke, Deborah Simon, his lawyer, and the appropriate borough officials. And this is what I have here has not been signed yet, because I believe they're going to have the borough meeting on June 11th, and that's where it'll all be signed. And so here it is right there. Take a look at it if you can. So he is resigning, and so, you know, this is another story that I always talk about. These cops, they screw up on the job, and then when they know the gun is coming down on them, the hammer's coming down on them, that they're going to resign. And this is bullshit. It's always been bullshit. When you and I screw up on a job, whether it's today or 5 weeks ago, we get fired. And this is one of the problems in law enforcement. This is how, you know, you can't weed these goddamn things, these crooks out because of this crap. But that doesn't alleviate him. He's not off the hook yet. But this is my speculation. And it is only speculation. It's alleged. I don't know for sure. But I believe that they had enough evidence on him, video evidence. Obviously, they had a video of him when Manalapan went to the grocery store to look at it. So they have him on, I'm believing they have him on tape, assisting this person one way or the other, whether he was driving the getaway car or pushing the cart, I don't know. But they got him. And originally, I think what was going on, he was going to fight this whole thing, and you know, these things all resolve when the money runs out. And I think Pete's money is running out very quickly. And so they strike up a deal. And the deal, I understand, is that he's going to plead guilty to third-degree shoplifting, which means he will not be able to carry a gun anymore. He'll never get a gun permit again because of that. And I suspect that he will get probably 5 years probation, maybe less. I'm thinking maybe 2 years, maybe even a year. I don't know. But he'll get probation. I don't think he's going to... Me personally, I don't think this man deserves to go to jail or anything like that. But, you know, he broke the law, and this is a man who had no problem arresting other people for breaking the law. And we all agree that police officers should be held to a higher level of the law. So, I mean, yeah, if I take the emotional factor out, he probably needs to do 30 days in the poke. Yeah, I think that would be a good thing. But, you know, in the long run, how does it work? How does it pan out, you know? The guy's in his late 50s now, or early, mid-50s, something like that. He's a little younger than me. So, but, you know, he should be treated just like everybody else, except at a higher standard. So I'm going to go with 30 days in the jail, county jail, or maybe 60, because because of the shoplifting, the third degree, and he did it on more than one occasion, I understand. And then the computer, unlawful use of the computer, he did it more than one time, I understand. I think it was 2 times. So, yeah, you know, he needs to learn that you can't do this kind of crap. And another thing I'm saying is that Pete, based on all the stories that came back to me from people that told me about him, this goes from officers to people who know him, people worked around him, that, you know, he was working his own system over there, and he was a narcissist is what I'm getting at, that he did what he wanted and nobody else should be responsible for it. And it gets back to that video that I posted where he was at a bar sucking beers down like there's no tomorrow. And I put a video out there and I chastised him this, you know, you're the chief of police of Englishtown. Yeah, it's your right, it's your pride. You want to go out and drink, but you're doing it on camera and you're sucking one after another. How does that look? You're at a bar having a bunch of beers, 3-4 beers I think we counted, and you're always on call. You're the chief and you're going to go get in probably a township vehicle. I suspect he had one in there. He was in an accident, and there was a rumor going around that was a little bit of a cover-up, or somebody didn't do their job correctly, and he's off the hook on that one as far as I know. But hold on. So, you know, he's had a pattern of doing things that are not on the level. And he was also involved in a lawsuit from a clerk that worked, a borough clerk, I think, whoever it is that handles the bills and stuff. And he wanted her to, he was submitting receipts for things with no explanation. And she called him out on, hey, you can't do stuff like this. This is how we do it here. And the clerk is trying to do things by the law, the right way. And as we always know, that when you work for public service and you try to do things the right way, the legal way, a lot of times it works against you, especially if you're a police officer. You try to do the right thing, and the system will come down to you. In this case here, it was Pete who allegedly harassed the living crap out of her. I believe there was another officer implicated in that same thing. So there is a civil lawsuit going out there. You can find it very easily. It's a borough clerk. Well, I don't know her name offhand, but it's her versus Englishtown, I think. But he's a party to the lawsuit, so his days, his business in court isn't over as of yet. But he's not an employee anymore, so really it's the town that's going to, unless he did something unlawful, it's the taxpayers once again that are going to pay out the lawsuit for this woman who got harassed out of her job or on the job. So anyway, that's the story. Pete Cooke has, in my opinion, has made a plea deal, and we're still waiting. Prosecutor's office has not released anything as far as I know. I haven't checked the site today, but just like the last time, I was the one who broke the story. And once I broke the story, they were going to wait, but once I broke the story, they had to come clean on it, and so the prosecutor put it all out there, and that's that. So that's your update, people, on Englishtown Police Chief, disgraced Police Chief Peter Cooke Jr. I'm just going to repeat myself again. It looks like he's made a deal. You know, you got to save your money because he's going to need that money. And there was also another rumor I was told. I forgot something here. So he's not out of the woods yet. The main thing that he's focusing on, every cop focuses on when they have time behind them, is they got to save that pension. And Pete was doing his best to save that pension. And since he's resigned, he's not fired, but he does have will have a criminal record, and he's going to have to go in front of the New Jersey Pension Board to see if he can get his pension. I suspect he probably will. But I also heard that he took a big loan out against his pension. So that big loan has to be paid off before he even starts getting any money. And then I understand that him and his estranged wife, Lori, are going to get divorced, and they were waiting for the kid to graduate college or something. Just a rumor I heard, inside rumor. I don't know if it's true, but I tend to believe that because he kept telling me that he wasn't going to retire until she was done with college. But so he's got a little monetary problem there, and who knows? Is the wife going to get child support? That's possible. Or alimony? That's possible. if the kid's in college, he'll have to pay, he'll get stuck probably with the college. He'll get stuck paying child support if the kid's in college. So until the daughter is done with college, he's on the hook for that. But Lori's on the hook too because she works, but I'm sure Pete was the big breadwinner there. So I suspect Pete's going to have a tough time for the next few years financially. And I guess maybe he won't be able to do some of the things he used to do. No more trips to Atlantic City and things of that nature. But, it's very sad that you at this point of your life, you're screwed up like that. You're at, I just never understand cops. You're getting close to the end. And a lot of cops will tell you, when they get close to end of retirement, they don't go flying down the road, rushing to some kind of crime scene and trying to be RoboCop. They just want to get their time in now. They're almost there. They don't want to get shot. They don't want to get beat up. They just want to get to the end and get out. And apparently he didn't do that. I guess Captain Dick Johnson gave him some bad advice, forced him, influenced him. So, all right, I can't think of anything else to talk on that. I would advise everybody. That thing I read there before, the resolution. That is from the Englishtown website, so I believe it's there. I don't know any information about him and his Facebook because the Facebook page for Englishtown Police was under his Facebook profile, and he took it down, or it was down. I haven't checked lately. And by taking a Facebook page down that is used for public purposes for Englishtown, you're destroying public record, and that is a crime. So we're wondering what's going on with that too. So, but the guy just. I'll finish up with this. I keep saying it, but I find in life, for my own self, probably on more than one occasion, that when you really start screwing up in life and going down the wrong path and doing things the wrong way, maybe you're being selfish, maybe you're being criminal, who the hell knows? But life has a way of straightening you out. It'll pull the carpet out from underneath you and cause you to have to reset. And sometimes that reset takes you a couple of years. I know for me, I had a little reset in my life, and it took me a couple of years to get things straightened out, and I'm finally in a good place now. And but it was my behavior of partying and things like that caused problems, and not responding and changing what I was doing to come up with a different solution. So I think this is one of the things that happened with Peter Cooke, that he was just doing some shady things for quite some time, and a lot of people knew about it, and maybe some covered for him, some didn't, and the borough clerk didn't cover for him. And now it's all come to a head, and he's lost his job, he's disgraced, he can't carry a gun, so he's out of law enforcement, period. He's out of law enforcement. And I believe he's probably has forfeited his ability to work in public service anymore. So that's a problem. So I sure hope that, Pete, I sure hope you have some other skills, because it's kind of tough starting over at your age. Trust me, I know. I'm John Van Dyke for New Jersey Exposed. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Facebook. I'm known as Gunnison Undercover on Facebook, and every day I post stories about our heroes that are out risking our lives every day to protect the government. I'll see you next time, people.